As the war in Ukraine carries on, the West's relationship with Russia has turned completely sour, and the partnership that's been forged when it comes to matters of deep space are expected to be completely cut off as well. The two superpowers are polar opposites when it comes to their stance and political beliefs. And so if the invasion of Ukraine continues, then the power struggle is expected to continue until who knows when. Welcome to Meta YouVerse, the space where all things tech get the spotlight. If you're new here, then go ahead and subscribe for your dose of tech trend news, Tesla reviews, and other insights into the tech world. The ISS isn't supposed to be influenced by politics. It's been around since the late 1990s when Russia and the US collaborated on the project. The collaboration is actually considered to be one of the international community's greatest achievements in the wake of the Cold War and the decades-long space race. Since its inception, astronauts from all around the world have gathered together to conduct research that may one day turn humans into a spacefaring civilization. The ISS partnership, which now includes 15 countries, has grown uncomfortably volatile and may fall apart at any time. As the US and other NATO countries have chosen to support Ukraine, Russia has likewise received the support of countries like China and North Korea. The big question is, who will take Russia's place as it has chosen to back off from the international collaboration? Well, who else but the #1 space exploration company in the world, SpaceX, run by its CEO and chief engineer Elon Musk. As the tension continues to rise, more and more multinational companies have been pulling out of Russia. British satellite internet provider OneWeb has turned to SpaceX, its competitor, for helping with launching its satellites into orbit after its Russian Federal Space Agency Roscosmos tried to pressure it into rebuking Ukraine war sanctions. Under its chief, Dmitry Rogozin, Roscosmos announced that it would not launch 36 of OneWeb's internet satellites as initially agreed, unless OneWeb guaranteed that the craft would not be used for military purposes. It's cancelled the launches of Russian-built Soyuz rockets from Europe's spaceport, with Rogozin announcing that Roscosmos would stop selling rocket engines to American companies. Quote unquote, "In a situation like this, we can't supply the United States with our world's best rocket engines. Let them fly on something else, their broomsticks, I don't know what." After Russia invaded Ukraine last February, US President Joe Biden announced that his administration would implement new sanctions that would significantly affect Russia's space program. An estimated 50% of Russia's high-tech imports would be cut off, among other sectors. In response to this, Dmitry Rogozin tweeted his candid reply, "Do you want to destroy our cooperation on the ISS?" His message calls into question Russia's participation in the ISS, which has been a long symbol of international collaboration among nations that don't always see eye to eye. A few weeks after the controversial tweet, Rogozin shared a link on social media showing an interview he had with Russia Today. In the interview, Rogozin reminded viewers that Russia is responsible for space station navigation and fuel deliveries to the ISS orbiting lab. Many have taken this as a warning from the superpower. More recently, Roscosmos also announced that it would no longer cooperate on the science experiments that it's been working on with Germany. Instead, it would pursue its investigations independently. This was just another response to sanctions levied after the invasion of Ukraine. On the other hand, DLR, which is Germany's space agency, shut off its eRosetta black hole telescope on Russia's Spectrum-Rontgen Gamma satellite and likewise ceased space cooperation. With all that's happened, NASA has never directly shown any concern about threats from Russia. This is because they already have SpaceX, the company that's at the top of the space industry today, as a partner. With its growing credibility and high success rate, it's looking like SpaceX would not have any trouble substituting Russia in its space missions. For example, while Rogozin claimed that the ISS would deorbit and fall to Earth without its Soyuz craft, it is a fact that SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule could easily visit and refuel the ISS to keep it going. Through its Commercial Crew program, NASA has awarded contracts to both SpaceX and Boeing. Both companies are tasked to build crew capsules that would shuttle astronauts to the space station and back. And while the Boeing Starliner has yet to launch its first flight, SpaceX's Crew Dragon has already serviced NASA's space crew multiple times. This partnership has definitely been advantageous to NASA, as it is no longer fully reliant on the Russian Soyuz, which was its only vehicle to the ISS after the Space Shuttle program closed down in 2011. Besides serving as support to NASA, Elon Musk has also shown his solidarity with Ukraine since the invasion. In fact, he spoke to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky multiple times, and he shipped some of SpaceX's Starlink user terminals over to Ukraine. The small antennas allowed customers to access SpaceX satellite-based internet services, which Zelensky has acknowledged in multiple tweets. The SpaceX founder also promised to send Ukraine some Starlink dishes, which he did later on. The fearless Musk also responded to a post that Rogozin shared on Twitter about who will keep the space station afloat, hinting that it will go nowhere with Roscosmos out of the picture, and that the fate of the space station relies mainly on Russia's Soyuz capsules that boost the station into orbit. With his tweet, Rogozin posted an image of the SpaceX logo. Musk's reply was short and sweet. Yes, he said. In fact, any spacecraft with extra fuel could do it. Musk's message assured the public that even with the Soyuz capsules out of the picture, SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft would be able to do the work just the same. There's nothing really to discuss regarding the development process of SpaceX. Their Raptor engine can be regarded as an engineering miracle within the industry. Its speed and frequent iterations exceed the reach of competitors relative to almost any other large-scale engine development program in the last 50 years. According to the latest update from Musk, SpaceX only needs 24 hours to create one Raptor engine. This tells us that SpaceX is the next level for the ISS. SpaceX may in fact just be the only Western launch provider in the world that can fill the gap that Soyuz will leave behind. It is a fact that without SpaceX, NASA would still be completely reliant on Russia and its crafts to shuttle American astronauts to and from the ISS. Without Musk's company, NASA would have no way to carry on with its work should Russia force its hand. In that sense, SpaceX has become the backbone of independent European and human spaceflight. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more Tesla and tech updates on this space.